Best of British, to me, sums up traditional, good old-fashioned attention to detail and solid quality.
We don't, because in like movies and all that, they think of us wearing top hats and suits, everybody wearing like the little bowler hats and drinking cups of tea with pinkies out. And I think that's what they look at us like, but they've got the totally wrong idea.
Well, Best of British, to me, means everything to do with British life, really. It would make me think of different scenes, probably a lot from my childhood too. Sort of slightly nostalgic.
There's a lot to see as they go along. Soon they're racing through our pleasant countryside. Passing houses and farms.
Tapestry of the British Isles is second to none. Whilst other countries do have green fields, and they do have, but they don't have as varied as in such a small area as Britain does.
A range of 4 seasons, so hot, cold and somewhere in the middle, so the kind of, as opposed to on the continent sometimes where it's just one temperature. So a mixture of weather, a mixture of sunshine, rain, wind, snow, ice, fog, the whole spectrum.
I like my friends, family and school.
Sitting around the table with your family. Sunday roast. Love a good Sunday roast. I love the food in Britain.
And now they settle down around the cheerful fire in grandmother's pleasant living room for a rest and a cosy chat.
Plum breads, Lincolnshire sausage.
Everything I can think of is food related. Roast beef, cooked breakfast, films and lemonade.
Yeah, tennis.
So lots strawberries.
Of yeah, lots
strawberries
of
cream.
Sports, yeah. Because we're not the best at sports, except from cricket, which we're really good at.
Sports. I'm mostly involved in sports and this. It just keeps me in shape.
I just love everything that goes on with the Olympics, how the whole shop window where the whole world's looking on your country and seeing what you've got.
There's gold, silver, bronze. Holiday, we go to holiday, we go to a park, have a picnic.
Relaxing with the family.
Holidays.
Well, go to the beach, relax, put your feet up, sunbathe, have an ice cream, some fish and chips on the beach.
Oh, just sitting on a cold beach with your jackets on, eating out of the paper, watching the tide come in and out.
Blackpool Tower, amusement arcades, grey, miserable, windy beaches.
I think that they get an image of a lot of landmarks of sorts, cultural and physical landmarks like Big Ben, and also the whole history of Britain as well.
The structures like Big Ben and all that.
I think that, in my opinion, it means that you're part of a great set of cultures, because Britain is made up of hundreds, literally hundreds of cultures, and I believe that to be part of one of those cultures, which is linked to all the others, gives you a feeling of belonging.
Britain's not exactly all British people. It's not all just one element. There's loads of things about being British and those sort of things. So you've got sort of multicultural and diverse country as it is.
We must preserve our history. We must look at it in a way that must learn from the mistakes that we've made. And we've made plenty as Brits in the past. I think we ought to look at that and say, well, we did that wrong, let's not do it again. So very, very important. Your history or yesterday was as important as tomorrow. I think that really is lifetime's achievement sort of thing, is that you do evolve, you do embrace the future. I used to fall asleep at history lessons because the way it was, I think because of the way it was taught.
I think there's a great deal to be said for the past. Without the past, there is no future.
I think we're quite proud of our heritage.
I think we are.
Yes,
We're proud,
yes.
proud people.
We've learned about the medieval times, about the plague, and we've learned about Vikings. They invaded Britain.
William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, Sir Francis Drake, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, most definitely, Winston Churchill. We've got a lot of cultural heroes.
The sooner strong enough forces can be assembled in Europe under united command, the more effective will be the deterrence against a third world war.
Henry VIII.
Well, my Henry VIII for getting away with having 6 wives.
Moments in British history. All about the Tudors, the history side of it from there, Henry VIII, mainly the 2 wars, Remembrance Sunday, always obviously is really, really British, history-wise.
Charlie Chaplin, I think.
The Queen.
Palace, Queen's Palace, Westminster Abbey. The kings and queens had numbers after them because there had already been, say, Queen Elizabeth II. There was already Queen Elizabeth before that, so to show that it was the second queen, they put 2 lines after it in Victorian numbers. Yeah.
And I think a majority of people like having things like the monarchy and all the pageantry that goes with it. It's part of our country, it's part of our whole being.
I mean, everybody likes to come over here and see all this Buckingham Palace.
I would immediately think of ceremonial occasions, which I think we do extremely well.
Having a queen as the head of that democracy does seem to work, and I'm sure that we are an envy of many, many other countries that wish they had that allegiance to something. At the same time, obviously I respect, my utmost respect is to a creator of this world. I am a religious person.
Jerusalem. That's for me. Just think that should be our national anthem, perhaps. Yeah.
Elgar's Pomp and Circumstance.
Under Hope and Glory. That's England for me.
I like the pastoral, Beethoven's pastoral, because it just conjures up beautiful countryside, which is a passion of mine.
You know, being brought up in the late 50s and 60s, you cannot dismiss people like the Beatles, you know, and who really were the first of the now pop generation.
I suppose it would be the music played at the last night of the proms. Pomp and Circumstance, some of the sea shanties.
Music, I think indie. I don't know, whenever I think British, I don't think of all pop music, I think indie music.
Actually, I think Last Night at the Proms. See? Yeah. Thanks.
Rip it up, pick it up. Step on the mic, we don't stop. We don't repeat, pick it up. Step on the mic, we don't stop. Rip it up, pick it up. Step on the mic, we don't stop. We don't stop. Come on, pick it up. Step on the mic, we don't stop.
I do street dance every Thursday at club.
Well, in terms of interest in like influences, like things like breakdancing, which came over from America.
Obviously, Sleaford's no different to any other place. There are elements that don't really work within the community, but they're so few and far between. And absolute full credit to the youngsters here. Sleaford's a wonderful place, has wonderful opportunities.
What are my hopes for the future? Well, I think I'm optimistic. You know, I know a great number of wonderful youngsters who I'm sure will be good for the future of Britain. I'm not a pessimist.